Yeah,
wow,
they go
Matt.
Yeah, it's
You on the board, son.
Bruh.
4 to whatever my number is. Welcome back to the Geek Branch podcast. Thank you, our audio listeners, for listening to that quick commercial break. And our video viewers, you don't have to listen to anything because we don't have enough subscribers right now. Please subscribe so that way we can actually make money.
Right.
Thank you.
And you too can bother you with ads.
Yes.
Shameless plug, Tim. Shameless
It is
plug.
shameless.
Don't worry, I'm one of those subscribers. I helped.
Thank you. See, this is why he's a special guest.
If you subscribe now, you get a ticket to be a special guest on our show.
Are we selling ourselves now?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, this is called.
Hey, at
public
least we haven't
advertising.
been one of those people yet to do the special giveaways
Oh my god.
where you where if you subscribe, you get your name in a bucket. It's like an automatic system
Yeah.
where you subscribe onto onto Twitter and different
Oh,
things.
the what's it called?
Raffle.
It's a
like
special
that.
raffle system on the internet, and so it'll generate the winner for you, so it's fair.
Yeah.
And the people do that like once a month and stuff, and that's how they get their subscribers. But they'll do like PlayStations and crazy stuff like that.
One of the 14 streamers I watch, Mr. Happy, does every month. Steel Series sponsors him, and he has a giveaway for that every month.
Giveaways are a big way to have your channel boosted for sure.
So enter those every week.
Yep.
Or every month.
But we're not doing that right now.
Yeah.
I was going to make a joke about signing people up for Dollar Shave Club.
Yes, yeah. We got to get our MeUndies deal and our Dollar Shave Club deal, and then all the other ones too.
Yes, because we have to go corporate
you got
and sell out.
you got to get sponsored by a VPN service because that's what everybody's sponsored by.
NordVPN already used you. Just go ahead and
Wait, didn't Nord just get hacked?
probably.
Probably.
Yeah, they got like a data breach. We need to go with another
Alright.
VPN.
Yeah, never mind. Sorry, I'm not using you anymore. All right, so the next topic is actually it's kind of old news, but it's been having some more trailers pop up. I don't know if y'all have heard about this, but it's Lupin the First, which is it's CGI.
You said Lupin.
Lupin.
It's Lupin.
Lupin the Third. That's how the theme song went.
It really is how
Yeah.
it goes.
Yeah, it even does. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it is Lupin. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow,
they go Lup.
Matt.
Yeah, it's
You on the board, son.
Bruh.
4 to whatever my number is.
No.
Come on, you got to give me a point, people. I got the pronunciation right.
No, this is a special case. You don't get a point.
Ah.
This is literally the theme
That's
song.
just
versus how
okay,
you
Tim.
actually
That's
As the
literally
guest,
me
I
taking
give
an
you
L
that.
right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we take a point away from Matt, not give one to you.
Okay. So
0 to 1.
Lupin has, because that's how I know to pronounce it, has a new CGI animated movie that's coming out in Japan on December 6th. I don't know when it comes out here.
It looks better than Zootopia.
It looks better than most CGI.
Yes, it looks great.
Looks better than most of Disney Pixar's movies, if you ask me.
It looks really good. So we're gonna actually watch the trailer together.
I will admit I'm not a huge person that's watched Lupin the Third.
What?
Yeah, I've barely watched any of it.
I love old.
They're
Lupin,
good.
and
that's why you're
that's-
the weeb king.
Yeah, no, I agree to
That's
that.
not the weebiest of all.
I'm the weeb king because I know more about all of the I know all the isekais. I know all the new shit stuff. But
fine.
It's okay.
It's not like I don't bleep out every word.
fair enough. But
Look,
anyways,
I'm over here dropping F-bombs, Cussler. It'll be okay.
fair enough.
Honestly, sometimes I get too lazy to actually sit there and try to find every single cuss word.
From what I've heard, you only can't curse in like the first minute of the video, and then you're fine.
Yeah. But it's always Matt that I catch the cussing and always put a bleep on it. The poor Matt, Dame's over here dropping the F-bomb a few times and I didn't even do anything with it.
I'm definitely the weeb that knows all the newer stuff. I'm not. I've never watched all of Cowboy Bebop. I've never watched.
Oh my god.
I know.
He's tragic.
Heresy, I say. Heresy.
I
You
know.
have never seen how angry I've gotten. How much of
I know.
like if he was 13, I could accept it.
Yeah.
But he's my age. It's horrible.
I mean, you can't go back and watch it now.
I mean, I could.
It's
but
not the same.
Exactly. It isn't the same. I have tried.
It's not because
It's not the
when you
same.
get older, it's just not the same feel.
I do I will never.
Although Lupin the Third age as well.
I will
Yeah,
never
yeah.
say
yeah, I love watching Lupin.
I will never say that it's bad. I'm like Cowboy Bebop is a classic. I can't go back and watch.
You know
Same
what
with
the big-
Evangelion, same with other ones like that.
One of the most underrated Studio Ghibli movies is their
Lupin,
movie.
the third movie.
Yeah. Because he worked Ghibli. What's his name?
Miyazaki.
It's the
Miyazaki.
Castle of Cagliax.
Yeah, he actually
Cagliac-
worked on Lupin before he had his own studio.
Cagliostro.
Yeah, he worked on that and something else, some other detective show.
The most important part of Lupin the Third is making fun of Inspector Zenigata.
Yes.
Nothing
But
is
we
more
are
important than
going
that.
to show a quick little trailer of the new CGI animated movie real quick.
I hope they don't have Fujiko Mine doing bong rips in this new movie.
Hold on.
I wanted to ask what was. Never mind.
That little buggy.
This looks so good.
待ちかねたぜ。
Better than Zootopia.
No way in
Look
hell.
at that hair.
No
Look
way
at
in
that
hell.
hair.
No,
No way
it
in
is.
hell. Go to. Not in any way.
That is 100.
私の名前はレティシア
No
お
way in
前
hell.
も
It
それ
is.
も狙ってるの
No, not at all.
か。
私の持っている情報を教えてあげるその代わりあなたは私と組んでブレストンダイアリ
Each
ーの謎を解き
individual
に 頑
strand.
張ってね
かのアルセーヌ・ルパンが唯一失敗したと言われているブレッソン・ダイアリー。
じいさまのたどり着けなかった夢だぜ。
こりゃなんだルパン。
確実に世界を変えちまう何かだよ。
Like,
アルファベットは全部で5つだがキーワードは8文字。
第一の試練
ブレッソンダイアリーの財宝に先回りするつもりだったがよく見ておけルパンたちがこの世から消え去るところを
やめてルパンごめんなさいルパン
おや
まただ。
dang, that looks better than most every Disney Pixar movie.
Yeah, dude, it looks so
no.
good.
Yeah, dude,
No.
come on.
Not at all.
Go
It
ahead,
does.
nah.
That legitimately looks better than Zootopia.
It legitimately does.
I would love to see a Astro Boy done in this animation style.
Okay, hold on.
Didn't they have a
Didn't we
CGI
have one?
Astro
Yes.
Boy?
Yes,
They
but I'm
did.
That was really good with Nick Cage.
yes. What I'm saying is, I want the sequel to that movie or another Astro Boy
I'm
movie
just-
in that
I-
style. It's great, but no,
Yeah, yes.
no, I don't care
Yes.
what anyone says. It ain't beating Zootopia.
I don't understand what you're
still
obsessed
waiting.
with the movie.
I'm
is.
still waiting for something
He's
to
a
beat
furry.
Zootopia.
They,
Well, yeah,
they
I
are
agree
probably
with
going to
that.
make a second one of that. It sold really well.
What, Zootopia?
Yeah.
They are making a
Yeah,
second
yeah,
one.
that was confirmed a while
With
ago.
even more animation budget, so it can only
just-
look better.
I don't
only
understand the
look
obsession with that
furrier.
movie, Dane.
I think it's the highest quality animation that I've seen.
I think that
I just saw a trailer that said otherwise.
I disagree.
Are
Hands
you about to
down.
play the Zootopia trailer?
No.
Okay.
Hey,
Oh,
tell me,
it's
play
the Astro Boy
Zootopia, I was
trailer.
gonna walk out, man.
You got beat.
Hold on, but you're
you're
watching
the furry,
Beastars
by
though.
the way.
You're watching Beastars.
I told you I have a problem.
Yeah, you furry.
I'm not a
Over here
furry.
Look,
projecting.
at least I admit that I'm a scaly.
This
but-
whole episode's gonna break down everybody yelling about how they're not a furry.
Yeah, that
This is
doesn't
so
look as
good.
good as Lupin.
I love
There you
Astro Boy.
Zootopia,
I
though.
remember this looked way better like
Yeah.
years ago.
I didn't realize
This
movie
is not
was so
aged
old.
well.
Yeah, it's 10 years old. I
Wow.
tell you what movie has actually aged well with that style CGI. The TMNT movie.
Oh,
I
the
need,
one from like 2012?
Yeah.
I need to actually see that. I've never actually
It's,
seen
actually,
that.
good.
it's really not
Isn't
bad.
that based on the old the Saturday morning cartoon one, the 4 Kids one?
No, it's, not
It's
based
its
on
own
that.
separate thing.
Four
Okay.
kids.
It's its own separate thing, but it is set into a timeline to where
Look,
there
some of
are-
the 4 Kids stuff was good.
yeah.
Never.
Dude,
Yes,
The Teenage Ninja Turtles show that was on Fox was good.
it was
so good.
that was
yeah,
really good.
but then it
Ruined
got
Sonic.
bad.
They ruined One Piece.
They didn't ruin Sonic. What? That was such a good dub cast.
Sonic X was fantastic.
Exactly.
Y'all like Sonic X?
Yeah.
I don't.
Now you know how I feel.
The only
That's a
Sonic
guilty
I,
pleasure
the
of
only
mine to
Sonic,
watch.
Oh my God.
That
the
and
only
Yu-Gi-Oh's.
Sonic show I ever liked was the one where it was more true to the comics, where he actually worked with the princess and everything.
Look, I watched the one where he was eating chili dogs in like the early 90s.
The first one with Steve Urkel.
I watched that one, and then I watched Sonic X, and I watched a couple of things.
Did you watch Sonic Underground?
Oh god,
That's the worst one.
I have seen some of that only because one of my mom's friends' kid liked to watch that show.
The only reason why I watched it was because one of my grandmothers bought it for me because they knew I liked Sonic a lot, so they always like bought me like they were like at Big Lots or whatever. They would always buy me like Sonic movies and stuff.
For me,
I was
whenever
like, oh god, what is this?
Whenever the show came on about the blue talking hedgehog, I immediately changed the channel to the story about the talking gargoyles.
Yeah, Gargoyles.
Gargoyles was
Exactly.
No, really.
That's a live action movie that needs to happen.
Yeah, you know
Alright.
who wants to make that?
Who?
Jordan Peele. Like Disney had to have a meeting with
Alright.
him because he requested it
we
because
have-
he's so big of a name now.
We have gotten a little off topic.
Yeah, we have. The Gargoyles is great.
We do this a lot.
Yeah, we do this a lot.
Welcome to the podcast.
Right?
The animation though, normally most of us really dislike CGI animation, but when they actually put effort into it, it looks great. But a lot of American CGI does not put a lot of effort into it.
The thing that I've
Rest
heard,
in peace, Monkey Punch.
Well, my thing is like it has to be either all CGI or it has to be no CGI because a good example for me was DBS Broly. That final fight scene was part hand drawn, part CGI, and the CGI killed the whole fight for me.
Oh yeah, it was really weird looking.
So the two examples I can think of, there's two things I want to say. One of them is the fact that I've actually heard, at least from the fact that Netflix has been making so many of them, that they're cheaper to make. They're cheaper and easier to make.
Oh, they're
That's
much easier
and
to make.
that's why they're coming out in droves. And unfortunately, we're getting a lot like the Godzilla movies that came out are
okay.
Yeah,
The
first one's okay,
and then anything after that is a dumpster fire.
I haven't even seen.
Well,
the
they
third
rushed
one.
them.
Yeah, I haven't even seen the third one, and I honestly don't want to. Sadly,
The third one's actually not terrible.
is it not? Okay, I'll have to. I'll watch. It at least has King Ghidorah in it, so
Yeah.
Speaking
it's
of
better
that,
than
I
the
think
second
that's a
one.
good segue to the next topic, which is about Japanese animators and the animation industry. So like in Japan, if there was it was like a 20-minute long Facebook video that we watched. It was like from Anime Boss, something like that. And so they have an interview with one of the animators, and they talk about how much money they get paid. And it's like, compared to like American dollars for like a whole week, a whole day of work, or like a whole week's worth of work is like $250 or something like that for them.
Good lord.
Yeah, it's
actually,
really sad.
there's a documentary. I haven't watched the documentary itself, but it's on Netflix, and it's something it's big about because they've been doing a lot of their anime stuff. But the video I watched was Mother's Basement, that YouTuber, talking about that documentary and saying what all is wrong with it. One of the big things that's pointed out is they had an interview with one of the top animators or whatever for one of the animation studios, and he says we oftentimes don't take days off. We oftentimes sleep at the office. We work tirelessly.
Death March.
And they and then the video itself, the documentary itself takes this as a positive light of how dedicated these people are to their jobs, and he immediately points out that's the wrong way to look at this. They're literally working themselves to death with very little pay.
Yes, very little pay.
It's not as much as we like our industry, as much as we like our anime. It is a terrible industry.
What was that face?
That face is.
What was that?
That face was me being.
People
really,
are working themselves to death. And
It's
you roll your
Japanese.
eyes.
Anime.
It's
I am.
Japanese
I'm rolling-
culture.
No, I'm rolling my eyes
because
because
Netflix.
no,
He
I'm
knows
rolling
it.
my
Anime.
eyes because they're Japanese.
because it's the Japanese culture, because they're all like that.
They are all workaholics.
No,
They're all-
to even bother to compare them to us to Americans is absolutely.
I
just
don't
not worth
disagree.
bothering.
The way they view work is so
Oh my
it's
God,
very
let's not do this again.
well. It is very different how they view work compared to us. Like
You-
they put their blood, sweat, and tears into their work. They're so passionate.
In that video that we watched,
Yeah.
they said that their animation studios were oversaturated.
Yes.
People that are being profiled and brought in from around the world.
Yeah.
Just from drawing fan art, social media. There was this whole boom of artists everywhere, and that they couldn't get any decent jobs, any decent hours, because they were bringing in people from New Zealand
or
US,
America,
Britain, just off of fan art. So it was hard. Then they had the long hours. It was too much, man.
Yeah, it is a crazy industry, to say the least. Studio Trigger actually did an interview recently talking about how expensive it is to make episodes, to make a whole season, and the how much profit they have to make to be a successful anime to continue. So just for a single episode for them, it typically costs near almost $500,000. And then like a 12 episode anime costs around $5.5 million. So they said they would need to receive about $16.5 million of income to make it profitable. And so they said, hold on, no, I got that wrong. A project would actually need to receive about $16.5 million. And then when it comes to actually being successful is to hit about 17-18 million plus a season. And they said most animes don't hit that, especially in Japan, because the only ones that really hit that are the kid-oriented ones. Any one that's their midnight animes, because they have so many animes in Japan that they have a lot that are late night animes. And if they don't hit big after a certain time, that's why they only last for a season. The only thing that's helping them is the American community now with Crunchyroll and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, let's just
they get a lot of their money off merchandise too. That's another big thing.
Oh,
yeah.
It's not so much about viewers or viewship. It's more merchandise.
Merchandise. Yeah, with their crazy cafes that they have over there and stuff.
Well, it's no different than American cartoons.
Yeah, American cartoons are all about it. If you don't sell toys, you don't last.
It's also a big reason why, like the phone games and all that mobile, they can easily promote an anime that's going on right now and easily make money from it.
Yeah,
Grand Order alone has made billions.
So I'm not shocked.
Worldwide, and I think there's only one other one that's really its competition is Grand Blue Fantasy is also.
Yeah.
Granted, that one started as a phone game and spawned
into a show. Yeah.
Other stuff, but I know Grand Order alone is supporting Type Moon by itself.
Yeah.
It has other sales and everything like that, but I know Grand Order is their main source of income.
Yeah, American cartoons. I mean, that's the whole big reason why Teen Titans. I know that's the most common one anyone thinks about. But it's not just Teen Titans. Teen Titans was a product of not being able to sell toys.
Young Justice.
So Young Justice, and another one was actually the Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Animated series was a product of not being able to sell products, even though they were a strong, developed shows. It didn't matter because it wasn't selling toys to the right demographic. That's one good thing I have to say about streaming services. They don't worry so much about things like merchandising and stuff like that. So that's why we got another season of Young Justice. That's why we're getting another season of Young Justice.
Thank God. That last season was so good.
I haven't finished. I watched the first
really
half
good.
and it was okay.
The second half gets it gets much better. It picks up really well.
Okay.
So look, the thing about Japan, and more so in relation to this, is that they produce upwards of 3,000 anime a year. Most of these animes are less than 15 episodes.
Yeah.
And that's not a recipe for success. 12 episode animes, I don't pay any attention to them. Every time a new one rolls up and it's 12 episodes, I'm just like, I'm not gonna even bother. I don't think that you can engage me in a story in 12 episodes. Not like I have no expectations of you succeeding.
Not with anime, anyways, because of how short their episodes are.
Right, but even then, like to me, my anime viewership has decreased almost regularly every year for the last 10 years.
Quality does seem to have been brought down.
Depends on the studio.
Yeah.
Like JC Staff is definitely the one. Like JC Staff is one that's definitely dipped. There's a new one. I don't remember what the name of it is, but they got two really good isekai anime this season that just look really good.
Well, most of my following of it has been light novel to anime adaptations, and so I'm coming from that market just to watch something that I've already read. But
And they're not going to finish, probably.
No, I'm just here to see like 12 episodes of it being animated.
Like, how the heck, I'm sorry, but Bleach, one of the most popular animes in the world, they didn't finish the last gigantic arc. I'm sorry. They ended off the most depressing arc.
To be fair, they also didn't even finish. I feel like Tite Kubo had at least 20 to 30 more chapters that he should have read.
He was rushed.
He wanted to. I know he was rushed.
Yeah.
There should have been a little bit more, because honestly, it just kind of ended and it didn't feel quite.
You can always come back to
I could
it.
tell there was more with that one shot, Burn the Witch.
Yeah.
But I
was hoping he was going to do more with that.
I'm still a diehard Bleach fan. I love Bleach.
Me too.
Well, I don't like how the anime ended because it was ended off the most depressing.
In my
arc.
opinion, the perfect
it should have stopped at Aizen.
No. In my opinion, the perfect place to end Bleach was when Ichigo lost his powers.
Yep.
That's the perfect place to
Do
end
you think
Bleach.
it should have stopped right there?
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. That's
I would have
exactly
gave you a reason to go out and read the manga.
Yeah.
I was fine with it stopping at Soul
I
Society
hated
arc.
his whole arc after he lost his powers.
You mean the Fullbringer?
Yeah. Hate the arc.
Well, this is just Bleach. He loses his powers like 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fullbringer, Bounce.
Well, Bounce weren't part of that. Bounce were a filler arc. They weren't originally in the manga.
No, I'm saying, but he didn't have his powers when he was fighting the Bounce.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
He did.
Okay.
That was the filler arc that happened immediately after the Soul Society arc.
Bankai then, I think.
No, he did. He did.
Did he have Bankai?
Yeah, because he got the bounce happened immediately after the Soul Society arc, so it was after.
Oh yeah.
It was those weird vampire. You're thinking of Uryu. Uryu didn't have his powers. He had to use this weird.
I really need to rewatch the anime. Stacy's actually never watched Bleach. She's only watched like 2 episodes.
I am a diehard Bleach fan. I still think it's good. I like the fact that Ichigo is a part of every pie. I find that funny.
Like that.
I did. I loved this. I loved How I Met Your Mother Bleach.
You gotta
edition.
give him some weakness. You can't have him be a part of everything.
No. Look, here's my whole thing. I was like, I literally stopped paying attention to it after Soul Society. I kept up with it because people around me were engaged in it, and I bought the OST. And then
OST was really good.
That's like the sum total of my care about Bleach is like Soul Society arc and then the OST. Everything
Soul
else
Society
is
arc was best arc.
Honestly, I actually
in the anime.
I absolutely loved How I Met Your Mother Bleach.
Well, I never read
good.
I forget what they call it, but the gigantic war with the Quincy's.
Yeah, Thousand Year Blood War. It's. I think it was good. It just the end of it was rushed.
I wanted to see Kenpachi animated after he. Oh my god!
When he got a Shikai,
yeah, that'd been nice.
Because we never got to see his Bankai. I'm sad about that.
No, they have hinted towards it.
Mm-hmm.
Baz B would have been cool to see animated.
But with the Japanese foreign animators, it is sad to see the conditions that they have to go through now. Obviously, it's hard for them to find work. Because the animation industry is starting to die.
Well, everything about it is just oversaturated.
It's oversaturated. It also has to do with the fact that their population as a whole is not increasing any longer. No one's wanting to reproduce, and so you wouldn't think that would affect the animation studios, but it does big time because investors look into that stuff, and so they're like, okay, we need animes that will resonate with the current generation because we don't have the right animes for these kids and nobody's reproducing like they used to in Japan. No one wants to have kids there because it's so dang crowded in Tokyo. It's a very serious issue in Japan.
Well, I mean, to summarize it in simpler terms, it's more of a matter of replacement value, right?
Yeah.
If 2 people get together and have 2 kids, then those 2 people have replaced themselves, right? And for most Western countries, we have about 1.4 to 1.7 kids.
Yeah.
So 2 people barely replace themselves on occasion.
Yeah.
That's most highly industrialized Western societies. America, we do better than replacement value. We're about 2.1 to about 2. But Japan is, in some instances, below 1.
Yeah, it's really bad over there right now. They're very concerned about it. Like they have PSAs on about them to have kids. That's how serious it is over there. Like, they have PSAs on their TVs to try to convince people to go have kids.
Our problem is we can't have we have too many people having kids over here.
That's China's problem, not ours.
Yeah,
we're right at the right number. 2.1 to 2.5 is.
It's very scary to the government over there.
Some of the stories I've heard of people really annoy me when it comes to that stuff.
What stuff?
For like, somebody was telling me about there's a person that they're friends with that, literally, they get with a guy, have a kid, or a woman gets with a guy to have that kid, so she has that kid just so she gets more EBT stamps.
This is what happens when you live in Memphis, people.
Yep.
Yeah,
well. that's my
That's
problem.
not
with
like
it.
like a.
I know it's a national. I know it's not national. It comes to mind when I think of it.
Yeah, I think that
it's a regional thing.
Yeah, it's a regional thing.
Looking at us locally here.
Yeah, it's a very local thing. Yeah. Unfortunately, but that has nothing to do with Japan.
I know.
Japan doesn't have that system. In fact, they're so good to their people. They have people who are shut-ins that don't even work, and they take care of them.
It's not a good. It's not something they like, but it is.
No, actually, and they're shunned by the society.
Yeah.
But they don't let them starve and die.
I am not a fan of Japanese culture. I will consume Japanese products from here probably to the end of my life.
Well, it's so vastly different from American culture.
Yeah, but
it's hard for us to wrap our minds around how sometimes their society works. And that's why sometimes the way, just imagine over here, just thinking about doing that hard of work and getting paid that little, we wouldn't be able to survive at all.
No, it's not that we wouldn't be able to survive, because there are some Americans that work 60 hours. There are some Americans
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about making
anime in Japan.
Anime in Japan making like $250 off a week's worth of work.
Yeah, like, I mean, there's
hand drawn.
Nobody's saying that anybody can work 60,000. I mean, not 60,
but
60 hours.
Unreasonable hours at low pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it'd be different if, like, you're working 60 hours and only getting $250.
But the pay that they're getting is like not even $1 an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's ridiculous.
That's not cool.
Yeah. So, that obviously I understand why that's so cheap over there, because it's oversaturated. They have so many people that can do it that they can pay that cheaply. I wish something would happen about that.
To get their foot in the door in the industry.
Yeah. I wish something would happen. I wish something would happen, but unfortunately it's just one of those problems over in Japan. But we just wanted to bring a little light on it. We saw a video on it, and we thought it'd be a good little stopping point. I really enjoyed discussing all the talk stuff with everybody, and having Alex come on. I'm sure we'll have him come again. If you have any comments you'd like to leave, please do. If you have any questions, please send it our way. We might actually add it to the podcast next week. We will only be doing the Gaming Pulse and the Otaku Talk this week. We talked a little bit too long during the Gaming Pulse, and so we kind of ran out of time. But that's okay. We'll have 3 episodes this week. I hope you enjoyed the previous 2 before this one. And thank you for letting us get to the root of our geek culture with you. Thanks, guys.
Have a good night.